All right, guys, Melissa here. My hair is a mess. When I work in the morning, I have to wear a hat for fast food. And then, like, I have it in the morning when I get up, all nice and fluffy and fresh and just washed the night before. And then I get home and I can feel like the dirt from the restaurant and the flatness. It's like awful. Anyways, enough about my hair. So, I want to talk about. I just did a video this morning about being thankful to have a job, and I do believe that's true. Now, I have two jobs, and I'm getting ready to go to my second one. Yesterday was crazy. I mean, it was last night at work, it was a huge banquet again. We have these huge banquets with I think last month was like 75 people. It's every month, sometimes twice a month. And last night we had a huge party to get all the food out for. This job I am spoiled at. I don't have to do, I mean, I work, but I love it. So it's easy for me. I'm a people person, I have the social interaction. And so, if I host or if I'm, helping to deliver food or doing takeout or whatever, I really enjoy this job and they spoil me. Like last night, I had scallops I brought home for free, and I get a discount on my food, and there's plenty of free food there too. You get to bring it home, so I feed my guys, with whatever they want. But I make more money at this job than my day job. So I'm really spoiled here, right? And it's uppity class, it's high class. So the mindset makes sense to me a little bit more because, I was told yesterday, Melissa, you don't have to bust those tables. It's not your job. Let's put our energy and our time into other things. So I'm somebody who's used to work, work, work. If I see a dirty table, I'm going to go bust it, right? And yeah, I mean, there's times like if they really needed me to pitch in, I would be bussing, but that's not my job. So I don't have to worry about it. Whereas today, oh, I was like, okay, so here's another thing, today that is not quite the way it should be. And the mindset is just really challenging over there, really challenging. So usually it's a no-win situation there. I'm usually like I started this job and I'm like I've never had a job I don't like this one, never. And it's because it reminds me of a school mentality. It just doesn't make sense sometimes. So, for example, I was called into the office yesterday, and I have a boss who's like, we don't want to lose you repeatedly. And I'm thinking, who is we? And you keep saying this to me, which puts my guard up because I've heard a lot of people say stuff, right? And I don't believe everything people say. But yeah, I'm a hard worker. He appreciates that and everything. So yesterday he goes, can you come in the office for 30 seconds before you leave? And I'm like, okay. And, I usually have to rush out of there to get on the bus to get to my second job. And he's like, what you did when did you call in? Monday? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, what you did was wrong. And I'm like, okay, you know, go ahead and think what I did was wrong. And so then I tried to say to him, well, if you think about things, I was sent home Saturday because you messed up the schedule. I didn't mess it up. You did. So, we had another conversation today because I tried to come around and talk about it with him and explain things. I said, no, I wasn't wrong. I said, I wasn't wrong. Basically, I had to make a point on Monday. You sent me home on Saturday for no reason because you messed up the schedule and I got sent home early. That's not right. He goes, okay, you're right. And I'm thinking, what the heck is going on? So basically, I said I had to make a point. Who knows if I was going to be sent home Monday because who knows if, I'd be sent home because you messed up the schedule again on Monday. So he's like, well, you could have come in, you could have been responsible and still come in, and I would have been here later. And I'm like, yeah, later. And who knows if I would have been sent home meantime. So my point is, you had to fix the schedule again for me because you messed it up again. And I said, let's think about what you said to me. I said, you are contradicting yourself. You're saying that you're shorthanded and you need help, and then you send me home over no reason at all on Saturday just because you messed up the schedule. I said, that doesn't make any sense, right? So I've tried to express myself, and then today he's like, "You didn't clock out." I'm like, "Yeah, I did. I have the receipt of my clock out." He's like, "You didn't
Mhm.
clock out on the tablet." And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And he's like, "No, you didn't." Well, I have no proof. And he goes, "So I'm going to write you up." And I go, "Are you seriously going to write me up over that?" I go, "I have never been written up once at work." And he's like, "Well, yeah, because I feel like I keep telling you." And I'm like, "Why don't you explain things better yourself?" And so he's like, "Well, I have explained things and everyone's getting written up because everyone does it. And so's getting written up because he didn't show up yesterday." And I go, "Are you seriously equating me with someone who didn't show up? Are you really writing me up just like him?" He's like, "Yep." And I go, "So I may quit because of this." And he goes, "It's just not right. Why do I have to adjust everyone's hours? You're not like 11-year-olds." And I'm thinking, this doesn't sound right at all, right? So yesterday I finally got my pay stubs, and I'm thinking, okay, so I finally got my pay stubs, and am I getting ripped off with my hours? So, anyways, long story short, it's just been a lot, and I'm not sure if I need to say goodbye to this job. The mindset has been, really challenging over there. It's the same mindset of growing up in, yesterday I was in his office and I tried not to roll my eyes, but everything went in one ear and out the other because he keeps coming down on people instead of lifting them up. And the hardest thing about this job was the morale, the total morale. It's like totally discouraging. So, I've taken this job. I've kept this job for over 3 months for me because I wanted to keep a routine and I wanted to bring in, money for me, right? So when my cleaning job, like I'm trying to get my cleaning company going and this has offered a lot of flexibility. So I have to decide whether to keep this job or not because it's a no-win situation no matter what I do with this job. Even though I'm a good worker and he'll admit that himself, I'm going to be in trouble no matter what I do. So I said, "So what's the point of a write up?" I go, "Does that go on my resume?" No. If someone calls and asks what kind of worker am I, does it affect that? No. I go, "Well, what's the point of a write up? This is so stupid." Right? And he's like, "It's not stupid. It's just something I do." So, I was praying and I'm like, "What's the point of this? Right? What's the whole point of this?" There is no point. So I'm like, I was praying today and I'm like, "So I'm just going to have to suffer for no reason whatsoever, just for him, right?" And I know sometimes there are times you don't needlessly, need to suffer, right? You have choices. And then there's times that you have to take stuff in life just for the sake of whatever, a bigger principle. I never base my jobs on money. Never. Like the principle, whether I stay at a job or not, is not based on money. It's usually based on respect. But today I'm like, "Melissa, think of this a little differently. Think of this instead of, you have your principles, but think of it differently. If you do quit this job, you have your routine, it's close to home, you're doing it for you. It's not about money, but you are going to be affected again with money, you know? So I'm like, pick a different principle to live by instead of just the lack of respect." And when I talked to him, he's like, "I gotta go," and he hung up on me. More disrespect, right? Or, "I need you to do this, this, and this again today, including mopping when I'm trying to get out the door." So I'm like, pick a different principle to go by. Choose you this time. Instead of choosing, like, okay, this company disrespected me and I'm ready to quit, choose you. Choose that, even though you're a good worker and they appreciate your hard work and all this stuff, and that, I always come in, I'm not late, I'm a good worker. They don't want to lose me, but do this job for you this time. Pull through with all the disrespect and all the unfairness, certainly unfair. Pull through for you. So that is the principle that I believe I'm going with. So, ladies, when you have a job that just you can't win, whether whether you're doing everything right or whether, you speak up and they won't let you speak up, um, do it for you. So that's where the perseverance is going to come through. So, I mean, I could definitely tell this other job, hey, I'm available now during the days in this job. My second job spoils me, but also be willing to realize there is no perfect job out there. Appreciate the good jobs that you have, but also be willing to bear through the tough jobs for you ladies. Okay, that's what I got for now. And then I'm off to my second job once again. And it's just back to back lately. So do it for you ladies to pull yourself out of any poverty. Pull yourself out. I'm doing it too for me, and I can bless my kids now and do a lot for them, my guys, and that is my why. That's my big why with keeping a job that has not been my favorite job.